Y'all, let's get into this video. Without further ado, honey, word on the street is that Porsha Williams is out here thirst trapping and looking for somebody to film with. They say she is out in these streets getting driggity drunk every night. And also, the married men that she allegedly has been messing around with, honey, they don't even want to film with her. So it's given that she is out here in these streets doing any and everything, trying to get a man to film with, which none of them is going because allegedly they is all married. Now tell me why Porsha is out here thirst trapping in these streets. Or maybe she's trying to get that mortgage money to pay that mortgage.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Well, guys, we all know what happened at the final divorce hearing because I went to court and I did record all of the entire hearing, which you guys saw all over social media. But as we dive and look deeper into what Porsha was awarded, the issue is Porsha was awarded everything that Simon agreed to within the prenup. But the only issue is Simon has been deported. He's no longer a resident of the United States of America. So if he does not pay the money, there is absolutely nothing that they can do to Simon. Now, I know some of y'all say, oh, they can seize his assets. Well, he's not a resident of the United States of America. So that should answer your questions about him having any assets in any type of banks. You guys know, the documentation that you have to have when you open up a bank account. So, and then it was already addressed in court that he didn't have any assets. So, in terms of Porsha collecting on that, good luck because as it has been revealed by other bloggers, Simon has pretty much said that he's not going to pay Porsha. Now, we will have to see. But, honey, word on the street is that Porsha is out here thirst trapping, allegedly getting drunk with different men every night. And she's allegedly messing around with married men in relationships. And some of those men, or should I say all of those men, don't want to be seen with her in public, which puts her at a disadvantage being that she's on a reality show and none of these men want to be seen with her or film. And you can guess why. Yeah, they are already in relationships. Well, word on the streets, honey, is she's out here bad, doing any and everything. And my guess is, she's trying to get that mortgage money, honey, because it's a hard, long stretch to try to pay $50,000 a month. I mean, shit, 5,000, and you talking about 50,000. I would just say, Porsha, girl, move in a house that you can afford. There are a lot of nice houses out here that you can actually afford. But of course, that's a whole nother story. But Porsha is out here thirst trapping allegedly with everybody, man and husband, honey, because she's trying to get that mortgage paid. Now, we also know that, Simon has a certain amount of days to actually turn this property over to Porsha, in terms of transferring the deed into a trust. Now, if that is not done, we kind of talked about how they're going to go back to court. I believe it's in September, and then the court will decide how they're going to move forward. Well, we'll see what's going to happen on that day. But at this point, Porsha is allegedly out here doing any and everything, honey. And Simon has did 2 interviews that I know of in which he says that he feels like he has actually or was targeted by Porsha. Now, in this interview that I happened to catch on the neighborhood talk, because I was wondering myself, because listen, I get it. You signed a prenup, but in my mind, I'm like, why did you sign that? Okay, Simon goes into saying his attorney told him he was unprotected. And I can understand as a man, when you're in love and you're supposed to be the head of your house, and the person that you love is saying that they don't feel secure and you want them to feel secure, especially if you worth 322 million, these few millions is not going to put it in your pocket, okay? So Simon goes on to say he signed the prenup knowing that he put himself at a disadvantage because he was in love and pretty much he wanted Porsha to feel secure. So I understand it, I get it, because at first I didn't understand it and I didn't get it and didn't want to get it because I'm like, man, you signed it. Stop crying, okay? So that pretty much answers the question as to why he actually signed this prenup. Will he pay? Well, we'll have to see because they saying he ain't. We will definitely have to see. But while Porsha is out here thirst trapping, honey, Simon is giving interviews saying that she's a whole scammer herself, tricking these men about their money. But baby, let's get into a brief snippet of this interview, and this is coming straight from the neighborhood talk. Okay, it is only about a minute and 20 something seconds, and it was conducted by your very own Gary Coleman. So we're going to get into this interview, y'all, and y'all just got to let me know what y'all think because I think that Simon is pretty much being honest.
Some people have been looking at you like, well, Simon signed it. I signed it, but you have to understand why I signed it. Mm-hmm. Did it make sense for me to do what I did when I did it? My attorney told me, he said, Simon, you're not protected. I said, no, I love this woman. If that's what it's going to take for her to be whole, should there be a dissolution, I'm fine with that. So what changed after the 15 months? What changed was I realized that I was targeted. Oh. I felt targeted. The way the divorce was handled, I was totally blindsided. We did not talk we didn't have an issue. We literally just came from Dubai. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, she was having, I don't know what was going on with her, but there was something just very unsettling. And one thing I always tell myself, if people are acting a certain way, at some point something is coming up. You find out.
Now, in that particular interview, Simon does explain exactly why he went ahead and signed the prenup, which I totally understand. However, I don't believe he exercised very good judgment, and I'm sure at this point he realizes it as well. Now, what we learned from watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta, as Simon said in his interview, he stated that pretty much he was surprised with this divorce. He did not know where it had come from and was pretty much surprised and felt like he, at that point, had been targeted. Now, if you guys remember on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha sat down with her mom, and what she said to her mother was that she tried to get the matters resolved through Simon's family. Well, what we learned is at some point, Porsha probably felt like she had made a mistake and she wanted to backpedal and try to maybe fix her marriage. I think at that point, Simon probably had started having the feelings that he had been targeted. Now, let's kind of get into what Porsha said to her mother.
Because we had the native custom.
Exactly.
By their tradition, the family, you can ask them to assist. But they basically said they want hands off. So on the American side, you file for a divorce and you let the court system handle it. For Benin, the culture there, you're supposed to be able to go to the family. And I was very disappointed that they decided they did not want to intervene. They wanted the legal process just to continue.
Now, Porsha goes on to say pretty much Simon's relatives did not want to be involved and basically said, girl, just leave us alone and just go through the legal process. Now, I don't know maybe if his relatives saw her feet or what it was, but girl, there is no way that your face and your feet don't match just a little bit. But then maybe it's because, everything you put on, which is your wig, your eyelashes, and your makeup, that's really not how you look. Because your feet is really how you look, girl. And your feet, you just need to get some new feet. Now, Porsha talked about getting her breasts done. She needs to get them damn feet done because they look very dusty and they look bad. Maybe Simon wanted to move forward after he saw them damn feet. The feet looks a mess. white polish, your toes look dusty, your feet needs a makeover. As a matter of fact, get a whole new set of feet. Your feet looks a mess. And the more I look at her feet, the more I probably understand Simon probably couldn't deal with them ugly ass feet. I know I went on a tangent with them feet, but I just realized that every picture I saw of Porsha, her feet looked the same dust. With the white polish, the long ass toenails, and they just look a mess. But anywho, here's the deal. Porsha wanted to get back with Simon at some point. It didn't work. She already said that she texted Simon to try to get him to respond because her daughter was asking about him. Now, Simon also said in an interview that he felt like Porsha was trying to use her daughter to get him back. He said that was typical of women. He had experienced that before. Now we hear Porsha saying, listen, I tried to involve the culture. They wasn't effing with me either. So at some point, these people, which includes Simon's culture, his relatives, they started learning things about her too. Now, Simon did say that she allegedly was met with a whole bunch of dudes. Now, I don't feel like going down the list, but he said allegedly, she has something going on with Future. Then it was the podcast guy. Then she was allegedly messing with Dennis. It's a whole slew of men that, Simon had stated. So maybe that is what originally happened. And he signed a prenup because he wanted to see her. He wanted her to feel secure. But what we have learned in these last couple of weeks after, all of this divorce, Porsha is out here thirst trapping. Now, she posted several videos on social media with her, I think she captioned it barely naked or naked hair or something. It don't matter. The fact of the matter is she's out here thirst trapping, and this woman has a daughter, and she is literally online with nothing on, and it looks very tacky, and it goes to exactly who this woman is. Now, we've been told that she is a ho, ho, ho. And that is exactly what it is given. I mean, naked hair, a bare naked, or whatever her hairline is, it don't mean that you need to be naked. So people are saying that Porsha is trying to pretty much lure her next man, because y'all know these men is weak, and look at them damn toes again. Now y'all see what I'm talking about. Why does she keep wearing this polish on her feet? It don't match her feet. Her feet are long, and then you have white polish on it. It just don't look right. But anywho, people feel like Porsha is doing a thirst trap shoot. And it has nothing to do with hair, because y'all know how these men is. They thirsty. They see a body that look nice. They see a wig, makeup, and eyelashes, and they are in. And Porsha got them hook, line, and sinker. They say she's out here thirst trapping, allegedly getting drunk, driggity drunk every night with different men, married men, yo man, yo husband, honey. But that's what the streets is saying. But as I stated before, they said that she can't even film with any of these men because they are already in relationships, honey. So the girl is out here bad, trying to sink her claws in one of y'all men, honey. That is what the streets is saying. Porsha is out here drinking drunk every night with this one, that one, and another one. And with these pictures that she's posted to social media, she definitely trying to. One thing about the girl, she's slow, but she ain't that slow, because she kind of know that the men are very slow, and all you got to do is really, your face ain't even got to be okay. You can actually be ugly with a big booty and a nice body, and the men will just go crazy. So that's just how they are. So she pretty much knows this. So hey, Porsha out here thirst trapping, looking for her next victim.